Welcome to this look at new mods on Farming Simulator 19 with me, MrSealyp. It's Wednesday the 13th of January. We have new mods with quite a few updates today. The updates are as follows. From top left, the Feltrina MR4A by SMIModding team, the Fiat X70 series also by SMIModding team, the JohnDeere 7R, 8R, 8RT, 8RX 2020 EU version, and the same but US version, both by SIID Seed Modding, the Manure Dealer Pack by TF 2020 Mods, that was Holger stock. I'm assuming they've changed the name to TF 2020 Mods. The Case IH Quadtrack series by Steenkamp Modding and Space Cossacks, the Agricultural Rollers by Pushcap and Kopi, the VSR Tech 360 by Vanquish 081 VSR Modding Sur, the Brick Shed Pack Italian Style by Black Eyes Modding, and the Bunker Silo MVP 19 by Agri Maxi have all had updates today. So directly in front of me we have got the Machine Shelter. This is by Bartson V3. 4.15 megabytes download, 19 slots on console. This is the second mod like 2 days in a row. I tried to place it in the same as I did with the published farmhouse yesterday. I tried to raise and lower it to get this flush with the ground, and that's how it as good as I could get it. Nicely detailed. There's no lighting on this one. We've got a drive-through section here. This is again for small to medium machinery. You've got a bit of stuff sort of around it for a bit of added detail. Hence why the slot count is 19, I would imagine. But very nicely made, that. You'll find that. Other placeables and sheds. There you go, Machine Shelter 3,500. And yeah, 19 slots for the first one. We'll look at the next one while we're in here. The next one we're going to look at is the Grain Shed. That's by Toymatao. 5.7 megabytes download, 4 slots on console. It's a grain shed. You can use it for storing whatever you like, I would imagine, but there's 21,000 there. One thing I will say, I'm assuming it's supposed to be like this, and it's not. There's not been a conversion to console error. It just seems very big. The texturing on the brickwork seems very large. I don't know if the scale's off, or is it supposed to be? Well, judging by the picture in the mod hub, it's supposed to be that size, but it's a big old building. And I just think the sort of wood on the door, I don't know, it just seems like the scale's off a little bit. Could be me though. I mean, they're like castle doors, aren't they? Like, huge. There is a light switch around here on the inside. But it is a cavern, absolutely massive in here. I mean, that's it. It's a building. You can store stuff, whether it's your grain, whether it's your vehicles, bales, whatever you want to put in there. You are welcome to put in there whatever you want. I'm just checking to see if that one says it's seasons ready. Yep, prepared for seasons mod. In times of heavy snow, the roof will be completely covered with snow. And I think the one before as well, the Machine Shelter, compatible with seasons mod also. So there you go, that's the Grain Shed by Toymatao. I would buckle in because coming up later on we have got a mod that, whilst on the mod hub it shows it as a mod, it's a bit of a mind melt. There's quite a lot going on with it, loads of attachments, loads of things. It's an entire pack, probably a mod review in its own right really. This is the old Wooden Wagon. This is by User B4D and Consi. This is 13.08 megabytes download, 10 slots on console. I've got this in the old used version. The detailing and texture on it is absolutely amazing. It looks brilliant. This has got 3 different configurations. You can have a wood configuration, one at 2,000 litres and this one at 3,000. This one at 3,000 litres only takes forage. I think the other one takes everything. But that's why it's got straw in it at the moment. This you'll find under tools and trailers. There you go, old Wooden Wagon, 1,500. Yeah, so along the bottom there it shows all the things it will take. In that configuration there of 2,000 litres, it will take pretty much anything. We can change the rim colour to anything on that pallet, like so. We can change the main colour, which is the chassis underneath, like so. Then we've got capacity 2,000 litres, that will take pretty much everything. We can have a wood one, you can just put logs on there. You can have 4 bales, that's got a 3,000 litre capacity, and that will only do forage type crops. But you could put round bales in that sideways as well, if you wanted to. You've got design at the moment, new or old. And then you can have wheel setup new or old, which gives you the rusty ones, like so. It is cheaper to get it used, but you may want a lovely, clean, brand spanking new one. So there you go, that's the old wooden wagon. I'm just checking to see if it's got straps actually. It has got straps. So if you do put round bales in it, and if it is the bale one, you would put them in kind of that way. I would imagine you can strap them down if you use a bale one, but you can use it for loose material as well. Very nice indeed. Moving on from there, we've got this. This is the JohnDeere 466 round baler. This is by LRModding and J.Amodding. It's 8 slots on console, 7.45 megabytes download. This will do a 7,500 litre bale, which is quite cool because especially on console, if you've got a bale limit, the larger your bales, the more you can actually get into your 200 bale limit. Only downside is it's great for straw or great for hay. If you are doing grass that you want to wrap for silage, there aren't many wrappers that will do a 7,000, if any, I don't know, that will do a 7,500 litre bale. Unless by default, by accident, they will. I don't know. It's worth a check, actually, because luckily we do have a bale wrapper today as well. So I suppose we could check it. It's an unusual shape as well, considering it does a much bigger bale. It's very high, tall. But this you'll find under tools and baling technology. There you go, 30,000 to buy, so not too expensive either. It'll run at 8 miles an hour, requires 70 horsepower to operate. Options available, there are none. You get it in the JohnDeere green and yellow. So I have today prepared, I have got some grass. Chellington Valley map is out today, but unfortunately not for console. It's out for PC and Mac today. I'm not even sure if it was put in for console. It may have failed testing for console, potentially. So, let's turn it on. Drop it down. Oh, so the whole thing drops down rather than a pickup. That's interesting. And let's see what happens when the bale comes out. I've got a regular bale over there already, simply because we've got the bale wrapper, so I wanted to test it anyway. So it'll give us a good chance when it's full up. We'll unload next to it and see if the bale size is bigger. It may just be the same size bale, but just with more in it. More densely packed, potentially. It's always worth testing, because I know sometimes you do get it where it says one thing in the mods hub and it's a typo or something like that. Let's turn it off. It's hard to tell inside. We'll see when we unload. That looks exactly the same size. Oh, that's going to be interesting. Okay, so there we go. That's the JohnDeere 466 round baler by LRModding and J.Amodding. 7,500 litre bales. Worked very well, did the job it's supposed to. There's no auto load or anything like that with it. But now the test is going to be whether or not we can wrap it. Okay, so next up from there then, we've got the Gallignani G400S. This is a bale wrapper. Nice compact unit. Folds up quite small. Unlike some where the collector, the pickup is out to the side, this one you kind of have to back onto it a little bit. But it does load up automatically. This is 8.5 megabytes download, 7 slots on console. It's by Polycount, Gregor 96. You will find this also under tools and baling technology. There you go, the G400S, 7,500 to buy. Like I said, 7 slots, that drops down to 1, and it will do round bales. Options available, we can change the foil colour from white to black to pink to the sort of lovely dusky green if you wish. So what we'll do is hook up to it. Now to unfold it on PlayStation, L1 and X unfolds it, twists it, tips the back up. Now the one on the right is the 4,000 litre bale. So what we'll do, you swing round and kind of just back up slightly to it. It says. Why is that not picking up? There we go. Doing its thing. Not too loud. There's quite a few wraps though. When it's done, L1 and triangle to unload. Drops it down like that. And it is released. Back into the wild. Now let's see. I don't wonder if we can trick this one into doing it. Whether because it's the same size. It will. Oh, there you go. So, from the JohnDeere 466, that's a 7,500 litre bale, with a regular bale wrapper, you can wrap them. So that one is a 4,000 litre bale, that one's a 7,500 litre bale, almost twice the size, but will wrap perfectly well with a regular wrapper. That's interesting. Like I say, especially with the bale limit, that will give you way more capacity on your bales. L1 and X folds it back up again. And there you go. That's the Gallignani G400S by Polycount Gregor 96. Moving on from there, we have got the Vogel and Noot TerraDig X5, I think it is. 5.44 megabytes download, 5 slots on console, by Agri LRModding. We'll have a look at it. Just get over to it. There you go. The Vogel Noot TerraDig. Oh, X. Why did I put X5? It's my handwriting again. Yep, XS. Handwriting and bad eyesight. Combination of the two. Really nicely made this one. Detailing is great. Very crisp, very clean. I don't think there are any options on it though. You get it as it is. This is a subsoiler. It will give you a ploughed state, cultivated look. So you can use these instead of a plough if you want to. And when you do it, it will give you a cultivated look. We'll have a look at that in just a second anyway. I'm pretty sure there are no options available. You'll find this under subsoilers. 10,700 to buy, 3.5 metre width, 350 horsepower required to pull it though. Wow, that's a lot. You've got a 4 metre one there. And the Agri combi plough 4 metre, 140 horsepower, 130. That's saying it requires 350. It will run at 5 miles an hour, so it's a little bit slower than the other ones as well. Wow. I suppose it's a big old hunk of machinery with a little cultivator section on the back as well. Drop it down. In 3.5 metres, we are subsoiling. So ploughed state, cultivated look. That's the Vogel and Noot TerraDig XS, not X5. So, moving on from there. We're whipping through them. It will slow down in a minute though. And it will get complicated. I'm going to apologise in advance. I'm going to miss something. I know I will. I have a list, but I'm still going to miss something. So next we have got the Lizard Cargo Series Brazil. This is by Cola, Borges, and Farm Centro Sul. And this is Borges. I think it's Borges. Farm Centro Sul. 14.29 megabytes download. 30 slots on console. Nicely detailed. Got a few options available on this. We've got a regular bed that takes 3,000 litres. We've got a bale bed like we've got here. And then you've got one that takes about 23,000 something. You can have with a cover, a few different options. This one we've got PX, is it PX antenna off the front, and when you drive they whip backwards and forwards as you go. It's an interesting looking thing. So a few options available on this. 2, you'll find this under vehicles and trucks. There you go, 53,000 to buy, so not too expensive for the base model. We can change the rim colour to anything on there. We've got a grey, we've got a silver metallic, which I quite liked, I think. Looks a bit more kind of realistic. There's a black chrome, a chrome, and then we kind of go through our regular palette of colours. We can change the main colour, like so, which changes the bodywork, etc. Then the design colour is the cover. So I'm going to put that on, let's put it on, oh, it doesn't matter, does it? Put it on blue. That's for the cover if you have one. So at the moment, we are in bale loading wagon. So that doesn't have a capacity. The sides will fold down. It does have tension straps, so you can put bales on that, or pallets, or whatever you want, strap them down, no problem at all. If I go across one, we've got capacity 3,000, that's more of a tipper. And then we go to capacity 23,000, like so, which raises the sides up and puts chains on the inside as well. Then we've got the rear height, standard, plus, or plus plus, which raises the whole back end up, like so. Then exhaust, I need to come around this side, it's difficult to see, but we've got an exhaust underneath in the middle. You can have standard or exhaust 1, which brings it all the way out to there, or exhaust 2, which brings it out to the side just there behind the right wheel. Then you've got PX antenna, standard, left, right, or both, or nothing at all. We've then got mud flaps around the back, 1 or 2 single ones, 1 large one right the way across, like that. Then embellishment, rear lights, we've got standard, we've got 3 orange lights, 3 orange lights, 3 red lights, 5 orange lights, 5 red lights across the back if you want those extra. Then wheel setup, we've got standard. You've got various different hubcap options as we scroll through, like so. And then the engine setup, we've got cargo 1622 at 220 horsepower. The 2422, but that still says 220 horsepower. That's interesting. And then we've got the cargo 2428E, which is 280 horsepower. And then we can have cover, yes or no. And as I said, the design colour is the cover colour, like so. Those are the options. So let's hop in. Horn. Reverse. Lights. That one I went for 5 orange across the back. We can raise and lower that rear axle. I think I went for the double, the plus plus on this one. So if I do L1 and X, it raises that rear axle and lifts the whole back end up. You can put that back down again if you want to. Then we've got cover open, like so. 23,000 litres of wood chips in this one. So this is the larger capacity. L1, R1 and triangle to unload. Well, that was a bit weird. Was that a blip with the cover? Yeah, that's a bit peculiar. But we can have this, if I open my help menu, on tip side left. Yeah, it keeps blipping with the cover, doesn't it? Tip side right. Or tip side back. That's for that version. And this version I went for the bale version with the antenna. Now this does have straps, but they go underneath. You can just see them there. So when you click them, they go underneath. But then when you've got something on, it will go over the top. So bales, pallets, anything like that, you can put on this one. But L1 and right stick side to side will bring up our 2 side panels, like so. It's fairly slow, but they do eventually get there. And then R1 and right stick up and down does the rear section. So for loading and unloading, you can see the straps a little bit better now underneath. So they're kind of hooked underneath for the time being, but then when you put bales and stuff on them, they will go over the top, and we can do them from the in-cab on off, or we can do them manually as well if we want. Same thing with this L1 and X, we can lower that rear axle, it sits everything down a little bit flatter. Just see if I can get those aerials, it's difficult to see them. Need it over the grass maybe where we can see a bit better. There we go. See those aerials moving around a little bit better. There we go. That will become really annoying. You have to reverse all the way up someone's driveway. Whoa, that changed. Okay, so that's the Lizard Cargo Series Brazil, and that is by Kohler, Borges and Farm Centro Sul. Which brings me on to the last of the mods. Now normally that would be a quick kind of, oh, we're on the last of the mods. Not so with this one. I will just interject at this point. In the time it took me to set up the video and record the mod review, this mod that we're just about to look at has been removed from the mod hub. Now I don't know if it's going to come back. I'm assuming it will come back possibly tomorrow. It's happened a few times, possibly tomorrow. Feel free to stop watching at this point if you don't think it's relevant. It may well pop up again, in which case you may want to carry on watching. It's a pretty cool mod, but there's quite a lot to it, so it is entirely your choice what you want to do at this point. I just thought I would let you know rather than let you watch it all and then find that it's not in the mod hub anymore. This one, because this is the MAN Transport Pack Swiss Army knife. If you need it, we've got it kind of situation. In this pack we have got 2 lorries. Well, we've got 4 lorries actually. 4 lorries. We've got trailer beds. We've got backs. We've got bale loading ones. Auto load bale for auto load round, auto load square. We've got side covered backs like so. That's pretty cool when that unravels. We have got an IT runner back. We've got a bale loading back. We've got a tanker back. There's quite a lot in here. I will try not to miss anything, but it's not going to be easy. This is by BD Modding, 57.99 megabytes download, because there is a lot in here. But you pretty much could cover everything you need to do with this. So we've got the TGX 18400. I think I went for the 400 in this one. And we've got it in XL or XLX. The XL is standard length. The XLX is a long length. And then we've got the TGX 26640, also in XL, which is the shorter one, or XLX in the longer one. So there are 4. They are very nicely detailed, and there are a load of options on these. That's what I said about missing something. I'm bound to miss one of the options. We've got about 7 different light configurations. There's, like I say, there are loads to be looking at. We'll start off with those. I think that's the best bet. So let's start off with the trucks. So, like I said, we've got the TGX 18400 XL. That's 90,000 to buy. 440 horsepower. Each of the lorries is 40 slots for the first one. We've then got the 18400 XLX, 100 grand. That's the longer bed. Then we got the 26640 XL, 140 grand, and the TGX 26640 XLX, the longer bed, for 150 grand. Each one is 40,000, and the options are the same across all of them. So I'll show you on one, but the options are, as far as I can tell, the same across the board. We can change the rim colour to anything on this palette, and we've got blocks of 4 with colour here. So we've got white, white old, white matte, and white satin. If we go for something like the satin, that will add extra money on. If you go for the old, he says, it doesn't. So you can get an older colour, won't cost you anything. If you go for the newer ones, it will cost you extra money. So it depends what you want to go for. So for example, if I decide to go into, let's go for, say, orange, and we'll go, sorry, orange old. So that's my rim colour. But down the bottom here, we have got stainless steel, we've got a zinc, we've got a chrome, and we've got a silver. So if you want to go for something like that for your wheels, you absolutely can. Main colour, we'll do the top section. So, like I said, well, let's go with an orange. Old, so that does the top section. Doesn't cost you any more to have the old. And then design colour does the bottom section, the cab. So we could do the same colour or we could do something different. So I'm going to go with the old again. The satin's nice. The satin finish looks really good. The chromed one, I'm not... Where is it? Oh, this one hasn't got a chromed one, has it? Oh no, that's all right. Whew. So that one's a regular paint job. Then you've got the old, the matte. It's quite nice. And then the satin, which I prefer personally. Then we've got the option of Lizard, Trelleborg, Michelin, Nokian, and back. Oh, you know what? There is something that is different between the two. Although, I thought this was the XLX. This was the longer one. Maybe it is in the 26. We'll double check that in a second. Sorry, I'm sure I had more tyre options. Yes, we do. Hang on a minute. Oh, that's interesting. So with the 26-640, we've got the double axle on the back. That has a rear steering axle. That's what's different on that one. So I'm going to leave that on knock-ins for the time being. Then we've got beacons. We've got without version 1, which puts a beacon on the dash. I like that. That's pretty cool. Zoom out a little bit. Then we got version 2, puts one on the left with a cable if you want it. Then you've got version 3, and then with cables, and then back to, well, version 4, smaller, with cable, 2, with cables, then back to 0 if you want to go down that route. We've got a roof bar, so you can have a roof bar on the front. You can just about see it. Same colour as the cab, or you can have it chromed. Then you can have the roof bar with lights and then chromed, and then back to nothing, so we'll leave that on. Then we've got attachers on the back. We've got a standard attacher for the trailers that come with this pack, and then we've got a trailer hitch, so you can have both on there if you want. Then we've got roof bar back. No, version 1 or version 2. That is a light bar on the back of the cab, which is rather cool. We've then got ambient lighting. Now that, I have got ambient lighting on both of the lorries that I picked, and I couldn't see anything, but you've got white, blue, orange, red, green, dark blue, and without. I'm assuming it's under the cab or under, but I couldn't tell. Now we've got extra parts. Without, we've got side horns. Version 2, there's so many things, it's difficult to tell what changes. It gives a reflector on the side. Version 3 gives us grills over the front lights. Version 4 gives us the roof scoop. Then we get combinations. So version 5, we've got reflectors, front grills, scoop, and horns. Version 6, horns, no grills, reflectors. But so we go through, we've got a whole selection of various different options. It goes up to version 12, I think. Oh, 13, 14, then without. So there's a whole array of options we can have that change all different things on there. Then we've got side mirrors. We've got default, like plastic side mirrors. You can have chromed side mirrors, same colour as the vehicle. You can have slightly wider ones where it does the whole lot, and then back to default. Then tail lights, again, this is where we get a whole lot of options here. Zoom in a little bit. So we've got version 1, version 2, version 3, version 4, version 5, version 6, version 7, version 1. Yeah, back to version 1. There we go. Version 7, version 1. A few light options. Then we've got warning boards. So we've got warning board, no. You can have version 1, version 2, version 3, or no. Now those have got different warning things on them, and you can open those up. It flips down. It's an interesting one, actually. Then we've got side markers, and this is off the rear bar. So we've got side marker, no. Version 1, version 2, just see us pop on there. Version 3 or off. So 1, 2, 3, and off. Beacon back, version 1, version 2, or no. So a large one, a small one, or nothing. Mud flaps, no. Version 1, version 2, or no. I think that's all the options on that one. Right, so on the TGX 26640, because that's a triple axle, so I'm baffled now. these the wrong way round? The pictures? Because I thought the TGX XL was standard length and the XLX was longer. So you had 2 lengths in each one. But it seems to be the 26640 is the longer. Anyway, so if we go on either one of those, let's go with that one for example. All the other options are exactly the same on that vehicle, apart from when we get to wheel brand. And the wheel brand on each of the wheel brands, let's zoom in a bit. We've got Lizard, Michelin, Nokian, Trelleborg and back again. We've got standard or we've got steering axle. That's the only difference on that standard and steering axle on each of the tyre choices is what we have. Everything's the same, roof bars, beacons, all those kind of things. As far as I can tell, everything is exactly the same. Attachers, ambient lighting, extra parts, all those things are exactly the same. Let's hop in one. Horn. Lights. That's that rear light. That rear light bar. It's pretty cool. If you then put the front lights on, the rear one goes off. So the rear one's gone off, front one's come on. So we cycle through those lights on. Then when the front one goes on, that one goes off. Can't seem to have both of those at the same time. That's a rear steer because this is the longer one. And I've gone for a beacon on the dash on that one. I think it's something different. I haven't really come across before. Quite like that. In cab is nicely detailed. Really nicely detailed. Lights on the dash, even for the beacon as well. I do like a beacon light on the dash. So we cycle through all our lights. Pretty cool that. So that's the longer version. Now, did I go with the warning thing on the back of that or not? I thought I had, but I can't get that to work. I'm going to need this open because like there are so many options on these things, it's ridiculous. Right, so that's the long cab. The short cab, where are we? All the same options, just a short version. Ah, maybe I didn't go for a warning board in all of them. This one, if I open the warning board, L1 and X, does that, opens that little warning board up at the back. Now one thing I have noticed as well, with the smaller version, you get a little bit of wheel spin. It slides, look, when you go backwards, it doesn't grip as well. So I found when I was bringing stuff out, every time I stopped, it slid quite a bit. When I was trying to brake and stop, that was with the shorter one. What am I indicating? Right, beacon's off on the top. Same options, lights and that kind of thing. And the cab's exactly the same inside. Hang on, hold your horses. So we're back to that same thing again. I've just noticed why, look. When I reverse, the hazard lights come on, look. So if they can work, why can't we have a button to get them to work? They're working when I reverse. Look, I thought I was losing my mind. Wow, okay, didn't notice that before, now I have. So that's the 2 lorries that come in the pack, or the 4 lorries, depending on how you look at it. We'll have a look at all the options and all the various different things, everything that comes in this pack, and then we'll have a look at the bits of machinery because there's a lot. So, we'll start off with under tools and trailers. We've got the 2 trailers that come with this. So we've got a tandem 2-axle, that's for the shorter attachers, and then we've got the tandem 3-axle, that's for the longer. So these are swap body trailers. The trailers themselves are 10 slots each. The options I think are pretty much the same, apart from on the 3-axle. You can have it as 3-axle or you can have it as a 2 if you want. The 2-axle you can't make a 3, if that makes sense. So these are 10 slots each. Options available, pretty much the same as the lorry colour wise. We can change the rim colour, so if I go down to the bottom and go for stainless steel for example, or chrome if you want to go for chrome. Main colour, let's go for blue satin. Does the side panels. Design colour does the chassis, like so. Then with this we've got Lizard, Trelleborg, Nokian, back again. Under Lizard we've got standard, and then we've got version 1, version 2, version 3, version 4, so we can change the wheel types on those. Did I miss that on the trucks? I probably did, didn't I? I said I would miss something. Then we got on the back with beacon, large beacon, small beacon, and back. And then axles, we can have 3 or 2 on the longer one, but on the other one you can only have 2. We've got mud flaps, version 1, version 2, off. Tail lights, again we scroll through 7 options. Isn't that weird? 7 options on the lorry, but only 6 on the trailer. Wonder which one's missing. Then warning board, we've got version 1, version 2, version 3, or no. Side markers, again off that rear bumper, version 1, version 2, version 3. So those are the options for the trailer backs. Now we move on to the backs that go on to those. So these are swap body platforms. So we've got platform swap body, and these are all 13 slots. We've got platform swap body square bales, platform swap body round bales. Those are both auto load. Then we've got the platform swap body XXL, which are the longer ones for the longer trailers. We've got standard swap body, square bales, round bales. So on the smaller ones, square bales it will do 12, round bales it will do 14. On the longer ones, square bales will do 18, round bales it will do 22, and they are auto load. We'll have a look at those in a little while. So options available on these, and again I'm pretty sure the options are all exactly the same, apart from the fact that these two are auto load trailers and they're not interchangeable. So if you want to do round bales, it has to be the round bale one. Square bales, it has to be the square bale. So platform swap body. Main colour changes nothing at the moment. That does the side panels. Design colour changes the platform, like so. Then plan colour, white, black, Flegel, green, green, blue, blue. That's the cover as far as I can tell. Stratman red, red, yellow, orange, gunmetal, deep blue, whole grey, chrome yellow. I'm going to leave it on chrome yellow because I'm pretty sure it's the cover. Then construction, we've got without. We've got version 1, version 2, which is the covered in version, version 3, version 4, 5, 6, without, back again. Wood on the bottom, we've got wood 1, wood 2, screen printing plate, metal, that's the same colour as whatever design colour you choose, back to wood 1. You've got front wall, version 1, version 2, version 3, version 4, version 5, or no. So we go for the kind of that version with the construction cover like that, almost like a little curtain side type trailer in a way. And those are the options. As far as I can tell, the options are exactly the same on each of them, like I say, apart from the fact that it's these are for doing bales, but you can have a covered in one with this as well. If you wanted to have your bales covered, you absolutely can, with all the other options available too, like so. So that's those, that's the platform swap bodies. We've then got IT runners. Where were the IT runners? I think they're under miscellaneous as far as I recall. So under miscellaneous, we've got the IT runner swap bodies. The IT runner ones are 3 slots each. We've got standard and XXL. Hook those on and you can use any of the IT runner equipment. So again, it makes it a little bit more versatile. Not too expensive either, 12 grand, 16 grand. Options available on these. Design colour changes. That's part of the chassis. I hate it when it does that. Like so. Main colour changes all the metal work around the actual IT run a bit, like so. And then you can have the loading area. At the moment there's nothing on it. You can have it wood 1, wood 2, screen printing plate, or a metal deck around that if you want to have it as plates around it, or back off again. That's the same on both of those, on the IT runner swap bodies. And then we go to what's next? Timber. I told you it was a lot. Under forestry, we've got the swap body, timber swap body, and the timber swap body XXL. These are 5 slots each. Shorter one, longer one. We can change the main colour like so, which changes the bottom of the stanchions. Design colour like so, changes the rim around the edge. Stanchion lighting. Now on the back here we can have lighting on these. Let's just zoom out a little bit. So version 1 and version 2. Version 1 has lighting that goes all the way up, but version 2 gives you indicators on those top sections as well. So you can have lighting all the way up and then indicators at the top, which is quite a nice touch. Then you've got front wall. We've got version 1, version 2, which colours in that bit, version 3 colours in that bit, version 4 does all of it, and back to version 1. Then the loading area again, wood 1, wood 2, screen printing plate or metal deck. And then we move on to under animals, I think it is. We've got the tank swap body, the short version, and the XXL long version. These are 13 slots each. They will hold pretty much everything liquid based, including lime and, well, lime, pig food, seed. Didn't notice that earlier. So those things that will flow, that have a fluid dynamic to them, you can put in those as well. Well, that's quite impressive. Under these, we have got a couple of options, though, for capacity too. So I can change the main colour, like so. Design colour, if I decide to, I don't know, I can go with the section around the bottom there. I've then got the loading area, wood 2, screen printing plate or a metal deck underneath there. We've then got reflector. We can have reflector on the side of that. Version 2, then off. Construction, so we've got version 1 at 25,000 litres, version 2 is 28,000 litres, version 3 is 31,000 litres. Now it's on the longer one, the XXL. On the back we've got warning boards. Now I couldn't get the warning boards to work on the one I've got. We've got no, we've got dangerous goods, waste sign, both or off, but I couldn't get those to flap down. So I'm not quite sure if there was a problem with those. But the smaller one, we can change the version size, 8,000 litre, 10,000 litre, 12,000 litre, and all the other options are the same on that too. So let's have a look. What do I want? Let's go with the short one first. So I've got a platform swap body, which I'm going to hook up to. Now I can open and close the warning board. Again, there's the warning board down the back there. Close the warning board. Now there's a lot of options it gives you there, but that's because there's all sorts of things these things can do. So things like lower container, that's for the IT runner. We've got things for opening and closing the sides. So L1 and right stick, side to side, will open that one. It does have straps as well. R1 and right stick side to side opens that side. So if you want to load things onto it, pallets, bales, anything you want. L1, R1, right stick up and down, we'll do that. But if we open the cover, that's what I really like with this one. L1 and side on the D-pad, that's pretty cool. Combine that with opening the sides, straps on and off. It's a bit like a curtain sider, isn't it? I mean, it's a curtain side trailer. That's what it's doing. You can have that in the short and the long, of course, as well, which is rather nice. So I'm going to hook that up to the tandem 2-axle, which is the shorter one. Just there. Beacons on both. I went for different light packages and stuff. And this one is the bale loading square bales, the shorter version. Hook that on as well. So see what I mean about being a Swiss Army knife? The combinations of things you can do with this are pretty cool. I know we've got IT runner backs and various different things like that. I know it's quite a high download as well. I mean 57.99, that's a huge amount, but you get so much with it. So what we'll do is straps on and off on the back. If I do operating position, that restacks them. Unload bales, R1 and up and down on my right stick does that. L1 and R1 and side to side on my right stick, so I can unload them wherever I want. Oh, don't want to go into the ground. So for example, I want to do unload here, unload bales here, and my bales have been unloaded. Very nice indeed. Let's load them back up, put it into transport position, and then operating position. Let's go a little bit closer probably, there we go. Bales are back on and I can head off with my ethereal bales. I've always talked about ethereal bales. If I want to unload them onto that trailer, because at the moment if I do straps, the straps go underneath, which doesn't help. Although those bales aren't going to go anywhere. If I unload bales and unload bales here, they drop on and then I can strap them down. So that's the bale loading. That's the shorter one with the shorter one. We've got, let's go with the longer one. Just looking at my time, realise how long I've been going for. So, the longer lorry with the longer trailer. So that one's just a flatbed, which does have straps as well. This is the one I could have the curtain sides on if I want to go for curtain sides. Those sides will open and close just like the other one does. It's just a longer trailer, which is very nice. Then we've got the, gotta make sure I come out there properly, the longer round bale one. Unloads and loads exactly the same way. It's an auto load trailer. Like so. I don't have to have it on there. I can have it on the back of the lorry. If I want to have it on the back of the lorry, I don't have to have it on the back of there. So what I'll do is unstrap those. Now something, whether or not I can get this to work again, if I put it into transport position and operating position, that's interesting. Unload bales. Come on. Put them down there. Unload bales there. That's the bales unloaded. To put them back on, transport position, operating position. On they go. Now, what I do also have, and again, I'm not sure if I'm about to get this to work. I think I'm on the correct bit. That rear section, if you're doing round bales and you haven't got as many on and you want to load them up, I think we can move that rear section. L1, R1 and left stick. Yeah, see that rear section move? Probably round the wrong way, aren't I? Let's swing round. Time, I'm running out. Right, that rear section. L1, R1 and left stick side to side, I can move that rear section. So when the bales are unloaded onto the trailer, if I've only got a few, I can slide that right the way along and I can put my bales into the gap. That's a nice feature. I like that. Obviously at the moment my bales are ethereal. I haven't unloaded them onto the trailer yet. But we can slide that whole section forward to adjust for round bales so they're not slopping around all over the place when you load them up. That's pretty cool. That's a nice feature. So unload bales here, pops them onto the trailer, straps on, and away we go. Next up is what? The IT runner. So I'll drop that off. I'll drop that off as well. Hang on. That's the only thing. You have to be clear of it to disconnect the trailer, otherwise it keeps reattaching the back. I suppose that's the only thing I've come across. Oh, that was something else I wanted to show you. I did wonder myself whether or not with a long back, whether you could put a short, with like a long bed, whether you could put a short back on it. It worked with the trailer. I'll see if it works with the lorry. So that's the long lorry. So if you've got a short bed but a long lorry, you can put those on. You can't put a long bed on a short lorry. This I don't think you can. Maybe that's something you can test yourself. But you can put a short bed on a long lorry. And the same with this one. L1, R1 and right stick side to side. I can slide that whole section backwards and forwards depending on how many bales I've got on there. That's a nice feature, like that. IT runner, can we get through that gap? I think I got all these ones long, if I recall. I mean, IT runner works the same as any IT runner does. Again, I haven't been able to test this on every single IT runner back, container, trailer, slurry implement. So does it attach properly? Will you get anything moving about? Potentially. It's always a worry, but fold that back in again. Fold it, unfold it for picking up your IT runner backs and beds. We don't get any IT runner backs or beds with this, at least I don't think we do. I didn't come across any. That's the IT runner. The log one is going to be a short one, isn't it? Of course it is. Rather than swap over lorries, I will put a short back on here. Why is that something going really slow? So you'll see with the lights on the back of here, when I brake, and if I indicate, I like those. Lights on. That's pretty cool. Yeah, see, got the hazard lights in reverse. That's pretty cool. Straps across the bed on the short and the long one. And then we have also got, which one is it? Right stick side to side. We can move that centre section depending on what size logs you're putting on. And you can on the longer one as well. That's the log back. I mean, a tanker one is a tanker one at the end of the day. It's on. That's the 31,000 litre one, which is quite a size actually. What I am going to do, because I am curious, is will it let me fill it up? I don't think you open it, if I can tell. Yeah, start filling. So this will take seeds, pig food, slurry, herbicide, lime, digestate, fertiliser, milk, liquid fertiliser, water, back to seeds again. That's pretty cool. The sort of things that can take. I think it's a very versatile pack with an absolute ton of options. But there's loads of things you can do with it. I like the auto load trailer sections. I really do like the curtain sides thing. The way that rolls up and down in conjunction with the fact you can open the side bits up for putting pallets on and bales and things like that. It's very cool. Very cool indeed. Anyway, I'm going to stop there because, like I say, time-wise, I think I've covered everything. I hope I have. I think so. That's it for the mods for today. I hope you found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. As always, thanks for watching.